What's up, Nimbronis? I welcome everyone back to episode number 2 of the Nimbus Tattoo Podcast. I am here, of course, the one and only Michael, at Oh Crap Michael. We got our boy, Mitchio Champagne. Mitch, what's your at?
It's Mitchell.tattoo. I had to really think about that for a second.
Yeah, we got Mitchell here. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, Chris House. Chris, what's your at?
Chris House _tattoo.
There we go, baby. We got everybody in here. I put up a thing on the Instagram yesterday, and then we did another one today of like questions. What are some questions that the Nimbronis had for us? Could have been about anything, and they are about anything.
That's fair.
So we're just going to kind of go through these. They are still up, so we'll probably get some more as we progress through here, but we're going to start with our first question. Are we going to give out ats? Do you want to give out ats for these people? Give a little...
Maybe. I don't know. It kind of depends. I don't want to like specifically out anybody.
Dude, I'm going to out at Mitchell.tattoo.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Oh, dude, he sucks.
You know, before we get into anything, I do want to say something too.
Here
So Mitch had to change his Instagram handle at one point. And because for a long time he was Tattoo Breakfast, which I still maintain is the greatest tattoo name of all time.
That is the dumbest tattoo name.
Wait.
No, Mitch's original tattoo name was Tattoo Breakfast.
So you're saying my tattoo name is dumb?
No. Follow me here. So his was Tattoo Breakfast, and then in his bio it said breakfast is served.
Oh, that's pretty slick.
Which was sick, right?
You're like a Shoney's, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was great. I was giving out the All-Star special every day.
Think about that.
Nice.
He could have made shirts that was like the
menu.
Dude.
Yeah, I told you.
God.
It was
that would be like the best merch.
I know.
We've seen successful menu shirts. I'm wearing one right now. Shout out to Sweet and Sour Tattoo.
Yeah, Josh did one. That's
with
like
the
a Chinese
Chinese
menu.
food.
Man,
so you could have kept Tattoo Breakfast, and you could have done like a whole
made it a
breakfast.
Waffle House thing.
The Waffle House that's next door to us. I should have gone over there and be like, "Hey, can I just like take this menu with me?"
And just poorly focused.
Yeah, but you were like embarrassed by the name.
No, I wasn't embarrassed.
Change it
by
back.
It was it just.
There's still time, Mitch.
It was like the number of times that I'd have to be like, someone's like, "Hey, like, what's your at?" And I'd be like, "Tattoo Breakfast," and they'd be like,
Mitch, there's a very successful tattooer named Cheeseburger Champion.
That's a great name.
Yeah, so is Tattoo Breakfast.
I don't know.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Start your day off with a tattoo.
Change it back.
Change it back.
Change it back.
Change it back.
All right, we're gonna put a petition up. I'll put one up tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
If Mitch should change his name back.
Yeah, we'll just have to get the vinyl redone on the door.
We'll just have to pay for the door.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, because I want to eventually get like everyone's Instagram handles as LEDs above their stations. So if you're gonna change it, I need to know, so that way I can order you one.
Yeah,
get like a little fried egg or something.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I have to know if I'm gonna change mine.
Well, that's okay. That was my entire point of bringing this up, which is that Michael needs to decide.
I need to commit
because he has an idea to do Trad Diddy.
Because everybody down here talking about hate Diddy.
You know, it's like from the South.
Yeah, I got.
So he could be Trad Diddy. You know, or he could just leave Oh Crap Michael.
Then people know what my first name is. I just think it would be so funny for somebody to walk in and go, "Yeah, I'm here for my appointment with Trad Diddy."
That's so good.
That is good. I actually like Oh Crap Michael though too. I think it's a good
Crap
name.
Michael's tattooing me.
It is good. I don't know if it's like which one is funnier.
Yeah.
Because what if you do a style eventually that's not trad?
Exactly. Then I'm stuck.
Then you're just like this weird surrealism artist named Trad Diddy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
like,
questions.
what? I was like, oh, I really liked P. Diddy and making the band.
Yeah. you
I'm over here complaining about a cheesecake.
You overcommitted too early in your career.
Yeah.
You locked yourself in.
I don't know. If there's anything that I've learned though, like nobody ever knows what they're gonna end up doing.
Yeah.
With, like,
yeah.
tattooing
So
and stuff.
like I feel like it's too hard of a turn.
I mean, I wanted to do New School.
You could have been Neo-Trad Jackson, and it would have been great.
That's true.
Change it to Neo-Trad Jackson.
What does that even mean?
You're Neo-Trad Jackson.
But where's the Jackson come from?
Wherever you want it to be.
It's just
Florida.
You're not even using your real last name. So
my name is an abbreviation of my first and last name.
All right, petition to change Chris's @ to @house tattoo.
Okay, I did. Did I bring that up last time? That I started hashtagging house tattoo, and the first one I did that on, I got my biggest post ever.
Because people are like, shit.
The toga tattoo has like 15,000 likes, and it's the first tattoo that I literally hashtagged house tattoo. But I did house capital.
Someone's gonna like search that tag. It's gonna be like a million of these like really like just messed
You
up
should
lion.
add
That's
snake
the
pit
point.
And there's gonna
at-
be Toga like right in the middle of
Yeah.
this like huge.
That was
field.
my strategy. Was like, you know, it's like Chris' house, and I was like, oh well, everyone looks up house tattoos.
Dude, Scratcher.
So-
you put Scratcher. You put Kitchen. Like,
Well, it was just,
Yeah.
it's just funny.
Hashtag kitchen. Yeah.
For a long time, I really heavily considered just calling my page house tattoos.
that'd be sick.
I
gotten in the
really,
habit-
I really considered it.
I've gotten in the habit. I've noticed there's a lot of bots on hashtag tats.
Yeah.
No other hashtag has that many bots.
Uh-huh.
So I've exclusively been using that, and it instantly baits out like 15 comments. And I'm just like, well, now we got 15 comments on this post.
But what are the
now
comments?
I gotta delete them all.
Yeah, they're just
It's
like,
always like click
it's a-
for promotion.
It's always like, come here to Tat Daddy School 64, and
one of them always says like Liberty
yeah, seen on Liberty.
with like a bunch of like arrows.
I don't know.
I always just delete them.
Yeah, I've been going through and deleting them, but I don't know why hashtag tat is always full of bots.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to start taking that out. At one point, I was tagging ridiculous people in them, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this.
You should just hashtag ridiculousness.
Do you get robbed your
Rob
deck
Deer Deck.
Get into the
from the call out from last week?
Get into the MTV algorithm.
Hashtag Monster Energy.
Dude, hashtag
Release the
hashtag
beast.
DC. You get that angry. You guys seen the video of the angry Monster Energy woman who's like, she has the can and she's like, now Monster Energy is satanic. Now if you look here on the can, there's a cross. But if you turn
Yeah.
it upside down, that cross is inverted.
That's true.
And she's like trying to say the Monster logo is like 666 in Hebrew. It's gonna be that woman. That woman is now DMing Mitch going, you gonna release the beast, son?
I did once have someone ask me if I was religious, and I said no, and then they said, okay, you can't tattoo me.
You should have been like my friend at Mitchell.tattoo.
And then I no, this is a long time ago. This is like maybe 3 years into tattooing. And then they asked, a separate person asked me if I was a Satanist. And I was like, no, why? And they're like, okay, just checking. And I was like tattooing them. And they were like, but you're not really, right? Because like, if so, you can't tattoo me. I was like,
what? This is confusing.
what are you talking about?
I tattooed this girl and she was like, yeah, because she asked me the same thing. She's like, are you religious? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, my previous tattoo artist was very religious, and he referred to himself not as a tattoo artist but as a temple painter.
Get the fuck
And
out of
that's what I said. I was like, what a pretentious. Like, you just sound like such
You know,
a
man, I'm just up here. I'm Michelangelo and you're my sister.
yeah. Get out of here.
I forget which country it is, but you can list being a tattooer as like a form of like dermatology.
I think
Really?
it's Australia, isn't it?
I don't remember, but you can actually claim you're like some type. It's like an alternative pigment dermatologist or some shit. And I was like,
that's-
I'm gonna put that shit on my fucking tax return.
I kind of hate that.
I'm a
I
fucking
don't know.
doctor.
I'm a
People always try to
tatology.
You're like, baby, I don't mean to brag. You come home one night, you and Ashley are just laying there. You're like, baby, I don't mean to brag. I'm a little bit of a doctor now.
I'm a little bit.
You take out your diploma. You're like, I'm a tatologist.
It's
baby.
just
start calling yourself Dr. House.
dude.
Dude, you got to get a cane and an opioid.
Yeah, dude.
Well, let's just walk around the line.
Chris shows up to work just completely gone. He's like, I have to be in character for this tattoo.
I'll just rent out like an auditorium and I'll have like 30 people who want to be apprentices and I like number them and I'm like 13, go get coffee.
He's like, for everyone or just you? That's your choice. And he's like, shit.
I'll just tell everyone they have lupus.
There you go.
It was always lupus.
It's always the rats.
It was on House. It was lupus, but it was never. There was one thing that it was never, and they would go, "Is it this?" And you go, "No, it's never that." And then the one time it was, and that person died.
Someone had Lyme disease. I remember that. They like shaved their head and there was like this poorly done prosthetic of like a bullseye on the top of their head. And I was like,
Dude, I watched the hell.
I was like, damn, their head
My
didn't
favorite
itch.
one is this kid is like laying there and he's like, I don't know. We think Timmy's gonna die. We don't know what's wrong with him. And it's like Timmy ate an entire bottle of Flintstone vitamins. Off-brand Flintstone vitamins are like, Timmy, did you eat these? He's like, yeah, they tasted good. He's like, I rest my case.
Let me just say that, like, if
like popping pills.
if my parents had not watched me, like as close as they did, I would have absolutely done that. Those things were so delicious.
They were good. I probably ate more than I remember. I got like a stomach ache once because I did eat. Like,
Oh,
quite a
yeah.
few of them.
They had to call
body's
poison
shutting
control more than once, for sure.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
Why they have to make them taste so good?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
That's the only thing the Flintstones
They're-
got going for them.
it was that or like all medicine tasted like chalk.
They're-
Or there was the bubblegum medicine.
I hated that was cold and it was like
You're talking about amoxicillin, right?
yeah.
No, it was
You had to give it in a dropper.
it was pink.
Yeah, that's amoxicillin.
That's amoxicillin.
Pepto-Bismol.
Is it? Yeah.
Pepto-Bismol.
But there no
It doesn't taste
no,
like bubblegum.
It looked like it, but it was actually I guess it was amoxicillin.
It's amoxicillin.
It's
the
amoxicillin
antibiotic.
is bubblegum flavored.
Yeah, I used to work in a pharmacy, so we used to sell that all the time.
Isn't that the one that like everyone's pretty much built up like a tolerance to?
Not everybody. There's just some people that have like allergies to it and stuff.
No, not allergies, but like people like overuse it so much that like people's bodies are like
I don't
resistant
know,
to it.
Probably, and people still get it, and, like
Yeah.
prescribed and stuff.
Is it the cold stuff? Like it's cold.
Yeah, I mean
It's
it's,
like
just in a
refrigerated?
bottle.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
thick?
yeah. It's like a thick, like viscous,
Oh,
like
God.
pink.
I
It's
have
like
nightmares.
Majin Buu.
Can I actually?
can still
I have to
taste it.
confess, I actually like amoxicillin. Like as a kid,
Bro, I thought it was
tasted good.
so gross.
Mitch is like, it doesn't work on me anymore.
It doesn't, unfortunately.
Mitch is like, I used to open up my mom's fridge and be like, ooh,
amoxicillin.
I'm feeling a
I'm
little
having
faint.
I'm gonna have a little.
feeling a little chest infection going on right now.
I got bronchitis, mama. I need a little
She's like, Mitch,
amoxicillin."
come inside. It's cold. He's like, I'm doing this furry.
All right, we gotta the topic has gotten so far out of hand.
No,
go ahead,
dude,
go ahead
no.
and pull up the
So we got the
questions.
questions here.
Okay.
I'm gonna just kind of read through them, and we're gonna answer them. Some of them I really won't have a lot of input in because I ain't tatting. But I can give my honest opinion as somebody who's been tatted.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna go question number 1. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Coach _Brett _ Owens.
Oh, I love that guy.
God, he sucks. I love you, Brett.
I do love Brett.
He said favorite Pokemon and why.
This
Can
is
we go
easy.
first?
This is the easiest.
Yeah, for Chris, it's easy. Go ahead.
It's Mewtwo. Mewtwo is the best Pokemon.
Okay.
There's always like a moment in every anime where like something happens and you're like, oh shit, it just got real. Mewtwo shows up and murders everyone in cold blood. He's like, y'all done experimented on me and you're gonna die. It was sick. It was so cool.
I cried during that movie when I saw it as a child. That scared me so bad. I don't
Plus, he got them thighs, dude.
my only
All
problem
right.
with Mewtwo is that his dick is also his tail.
Probably.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I can see
Where's that tail coming from?
It starts like here.
It starts right like belly button.
It is. It's like his like pelvis, and
So,
it's like
like-
tucked the
Yeah,
other way.
think about that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So
Proportionally, it's kind of like the conversation we had about which Smash Brothers character has the largest penis.
yeah,
Proportionally to their body,
mm-hmm.
he's probably up there.
Probably.
Who's your favorite Pokemon, Mitch?
Wow.
Wait, does Mewtwo?
How do I follow that up, Chris?
Easy.
Dude, with the answer that you feel is appropriate.
All right. Mine is like way less in depth. I think I like Cubone. Every time I see Cubone,
Okay.
I think
Why,
he's
Mitch?
so
Because he's
cute.
depressing?
He's-
Because he wears
he's-
the skull of his
he's
mom?
the lonely No, he's just cute,
He's
dude.
cute.
He's got like a little bone. He's like a little dinosaur. He's just cool. I like him.
What's his face look like, Mitch?
I
Um,
actually Googled it earlier because I was just like, I think I saw a Cubone tattoo or something, and I was like, what does
Oh,
that
I
look
also
like?
saw that Cubone tattoo.
It's all just he's just a dinosaur, like non-descript
People are saying that he's
dinosaur.
like baby Kangaskhan, but if
Yeah.
Kangaskhan died,
I saw that.
I like that lore.
I think that's a little.
I don't buy that.
I'm getting
He's like orange.
blown up.
I wish that they would do more with the lore in the games.
I think that they need to probably chill on that because they like the lore
Some-
like
Some of it's rough.
yeah, like Drifloon, the like balloon Pokemon, like
Yeah.
steals children.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
There's like
Venom eats children.
yeah, this is a
I
children's
guess that's
video
true.
game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's not
Spider-Man
really
is for
insane.
children.
I don't know. I feel like that's at a different point.
Yeah, Venom is not for children. Spider-Man's for children.
Yeah, but I mean, you're-
Drifloon is like, hey, the lore of this is it's like terminally ill children. Like
Is
it
it?
carries them out of the hospital or something weird like that.
So did
then
Peter
they-
Pan.
And then they die.
Peter Pan did that.
You guys remember in the first game where that guy fuses with a Pokemon?
Yeah.
What?
You ever think about how messed up that is?
What,
It's
he
Full Metal
fuses
Alchemist.
with
Yeah,
Pokemon?
like I think his name is Bill. He's
Yep,
like you go
Bill.
into his like this thing and he's like, I need your help, and he's like has merged himself with a Pokemon.
It's like
So he's
I don't remember what
talking
Pokemon it is.
He looks like Rhydon, I think,
Yeah.
or something.
But he's fused his body to it.
yeah, they're like grafted together. It's very very
I'm thinking about Godric right now.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's not like that. no.
Like Elden Ring.
I
Bill
was
is
just
just in there. He has like a Pikachu's arm and a Charizard's wing.
The Pokemon's like, help me, like on the side.
Got a dragon that tail.
Brother, help.
No, I was thinking more like
Or
Tusk, where he's got like the suit and he, like you have to become the.
We love
Rhydon.
you, Bill, and he's like. He makes the Rhydon sound.
Yeah, like the 8-bit noise. Yeah, no, I think I like Cubone. If it's not Cubone, then it's probably Umbreon.
Dude, Umbreon's my number 2.
I feel basic saying that.
No, Umbreon's
I
great.
always have Umbreon in my party though. I love Umbreon.
I do love Umbreon.
We were playing Legends, and
Although
Chris will attest to this. I went out of my way to find a giant shiny Eevee.
Yeah.
So then I could have a giant shiny Umbreon, and it took me 16 hours.
Nice.
So I had only really played through Crystal originally, and then I took like a big break from Pokemon just because it got repetitive. I did play Coliseum though. I did like Coliseum.
Yeah.
But Arceus was the first one like I came back to, and I never really had any love for like the new Pokemon, but I did find that I love one of the newer Pokemon so much, which is Giratina. He's the Poke
Newer,
Devil.
as in 2 generations after the.
He's newer to me, but he's the Poke Devil. He's sick. But I like the centipede one more. Like I don't like when he has like the legs.
When he's like floating, he's like
He's like a pupa.
He's just like a massive like devil
He's
centipede.
the Poke Devil, man.
He's
that is
sick.
actually a really cool description. Truthfully.
Yeah, he's sick. He has 6 of everything.
It's true. He does.
He has 6 arms, 6 horns. Like
Sounds
literally.
like a description in the Bible. Like 6.
He
got
took
6
up his
legs, 6
6-leg
horns.
form.
He was the mark of the beast. He comes out of a Monster Energy logo. It rips the dimension and he comes through.
That would be the greatest thing ever. That'd be the best crossover that like has ever happened.
Dude, think about the marketing potential.
What about you,
Yeah,
Michael?
he's
What's your
sick.
favorite Pokemon?
Oh, dude, I'm basic as hell. Gengar.
No, that's a great one. I love
He's
Gengar.
the best.
He is.
Gengar is cool.
I love him. I like the game version of him more than I like the cartoon version, because like when he's introduced in the anime, it's like, oh, dude, he loves slapstick comedy. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. But then it's like he actually like sucks people's souls out of their bodies, and I'm like, that's kind of sick.
He's like a
dude.
Dementor.
Yeah.
A
Big
fat
old
fat
tongue.
purple Dementor. But he's tall. He's like 6 foot, right?
He's 6 foot tall.
They're super tall. Hold on, I'll fact check it.
You know what's funny? So, like my girlfriend's kid just likes to know random things, and she was talking about Gyarados, and she was just like, she's like 5, so she's like, how big is Gyarados? And I was like, that's a good question. So I looked up Gyarados. I think Gyarados is like 23 feet long.
That's not
4'11".
long.
He's the
Yeah.
same.
That's
He's the
like
same,
pretty small.
He's the same height as Mitch, 4'11",
Okay, that
and
makes
Nice.
sense.
All right. I'm not gonna let that slide. We're gonna talk about that really quick. Okay.
Are
The first time we recorded our podcast, we went over this, but like our previous one, we didn't really get a chance to go back into that. Chris has been gaslighting me for like the last like 15 years of my life. Like every single time we're like talking, like I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'10" or something like that.
yeah, you were 5'10" when we measured it.
And Chris has been telling me forever. He's like, yeah, Mitch is just like kind of short. And, like every time he looks, like he always describes me as short, and like I'm fine with that. Like if I'm short,
Are
that
you?
is okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Dude, you're acting
My
kinda crazy
problem
right now.
is that Chris will say that. He's like, yeah, I'm like 3 inches taller than you. And I'm like, we're like so close. in
What
height.
happened the other day, Mitch?
What are you talking about?
When we were standing at the shop?
I looked at you. You first of all, you were on like a mat and stuff, and you had
I was not on a mat.
whatever.
I was not. I was standing on the ground.
I said that Chris looked like he was taller than me.
He looked He looked at me dead in the face. And he goes, "Man, you look way taller
Well,
than me." And I was like, "I know."
I was like, we're like almost the same height, and he was like, no, we're not. And so I had to stand back to back with him, and his client's like, yeah, you guys are like almost
So
the same.
it got to the point where we all took our shoes off and we had a third party measure all of us.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Like,
matter.
Chris has been baiting people into saying he's 6 foot for like 25 years.
I thought I was because like when I went and got like a checkup, they did. But I'm like 5 what?
He's
11?
5'11".
5'11".
Mitch is 5'9.5".
Yeah, which is fine. But like I just found it funny because even Mitch acknowledges that he looks short,
yeah.
and for some reason, Mitch just always looks like he's at the low end of any slope.
What does that mean? It's like it's just
If
it's
this is a
destroying
slope,
my
if this-
life.
if this is
like
a
I
slope-
can't sleep. I can't eat.
If this is a slope,
Like-
right? I feel like I'm always here and you're always here.
What are you talking about? That
You
doesn't
just
make any
look. You
sense.
just look like you're like further down. And when
Because I'm shorter than you by like an inch.
No, but we were
about?
sitting. Like, I was literally at the shop breaking down, and you're looking at me, and you're like, "Man, you look way taller than me."
You were on a mat.
I wasn't on a
like,
mat.
I was like way taller. I was like,
Mitch,
you do look like
Mitch,
you're taller.
that's like you being like, "Man, you were standing on a rug."
I don't know. Chris
He
is
did have
gaslighting
big girl shoes
people.
on.
We're just gonna skate past it. It's fine.
Mitch is like, "It doesn't bother me. We're talking about.
We
this.
are gonna talk
We're
about
gonna
it.
talk
But
about this. You're gonna sell me some gas. Shout out to the movie Birdemic for the "You're gonna sell me some gas." I feel like that right now.
So good.
God. We're gonna go to the next one. The next question here. This is a question that I don't know. Skin tones, man. How'd you figure them out with World Famous?
Lots of trial and error. It's different for everybody because, like, even if you look at like Michael and Mitch, like they have different complexions. So I wouldn't use the exact same skin tone on either one of them. It's generally the way I look at it is like the darker your complexion gets, the less complicated I do them. Because, like, for example, anime has like 2-tone shading, 3-tone shading, 4-tone shading. Sometimes more than that, but generally it's like between 2 and 4. And so, like, the darker someone's complexion gets, I'll scale it back. So, like, rather than do like something super complicated like 4, I'll do like 2. And then the darker someone gets, the lighter skin tones I'll use. So that way it's not as like drastic looking. Because you don't want it to get to a point where like the face shading is so like in shadow. It'll look like too dominant. So I don't know, like the darker someone's complexion is, the lighter skin tones I'll use and the fewer tones I will use.
like people ask those questions a lot, like clients and stuff. And I know I do mostly like black and gray, but in terms of like skin tone and stuff, I think like you just have to have like a lot of contrast, basically. Like there just has to be like a difference in things, and like when you have like a darker skin complexion, you just want to make sure that like the contrast is still there. You know?
Like you can do anything on any like skin tone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter like if you're incredibly light or incredibly dark. Like you can make it look good. You just have to make the correct choices.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to like inform the client of like the choice you're making and like why you're making it. You know? Like cuz I can do color on anybody, but I would just apply it differently depending on like the complexion. It's no different than like if I'm going to draw on like this table that's like stark white, I wouldn't approach it the same way as if I was drawing on like a piece of paper that was red. You know, like I wouldn't do it the same way.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be this pasty prince.
That's probably not a good description. I don't know why.
Dude,
that sounds weird.
I've been told I
that's
got
a
good
sick
skin, bro.
tat name, Michael.
Pasty Prince.
At Pasty Prince.
At Pasty Prince. All right, I'll put that one on the survey.
Allit-
I'll let people pick.
alliteration.
I honestly don't care. It's only going to change, like, people who immediately DM me right now. They're going to be like, who the fuck's Pasty Prince? Who the fuck is this guy? Let me go back to this one. So that was a good question. This next question comes at us from Mitchell.Tattoo. Why does Mitch have the sickest dance moves at Nimbus?
You could have left me off of that one, dude.
No,
you could just
dude.
left it anonymous.
Nope. Mitch.
It's just a fact.
Mitch.
Let me tell you this. No,
Mitch
Mitch-
has a great dance.
All right.
Mitch called me out, so I'm calling Mitch out. Mitch gaslights everyone in saying he doesn't dance a certain way.
All right, first of
And
all,
he
I want to
100%
clarify
does.
before we actually go into this. We're like, we don't actually, like, I cannot actually dance.
Mitch throws
so
it
like,
back.
we do it like jokingly, and like Chris always tries to tell me that I do this like this weird thing with my arms.
He does.
My arms
You
are
do.
never up. When I'm dancing, it's all the knees, dude. That's all you need.
Yeah,
Just your knees.
but literally, Mitch will be like, "Yo, it's all on the knees," and the next time he'll be like, "Yo, it's all on the."
He's like,
"It's all on the
his
hips."
hands up and he'll
I'm like,
get
I've
this.
never done that in my. I'm
And
like,
yes,
that's
you
the first
have.
time I've ever
You
done this
fucking
in my
liar.
life. I'm not.
Mitch will lock his shit, and he'll just be like,
Chris got to stand. All right. All right.
"He does that."
Tell me
shit.
that's not a sick dance move, though.
Oh,
You'd
why?
go
Are you
prom
gonna
with me,
claim
right?
it? Is it sick?
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
I'm glad you started it.
I've been telling clients
All right.
to ask Mitch to dance.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch will be like, "Yeah, man, it's all on the hips."
I'll dance. If,
Yeah, man, it's
if
all-
somebody's like, yo, hit me with a dance move, I'll hit him with a
He'll
dance move.
bust out. It's all in the knees.
Yeah.
This
love
one's
that
also
dance
Thank
wow.
you.
This is weird. This one's also from Mitchell.Tattoo.
Oh, I know what this is. I can just ask.
Why you gotta be so cute, Chris?
Why you gotta be so cute, Chris?
My mama built me this way genetically.
Yo, shout out Susan.
What's her name? It's
Good
like
job, Miss Susan.
Susan House.
Susan House 29.
29 or something.
Shout out. Love her. This is a good one. What is a challenge you didn't anticipate when becoming a business owner? I can think of a bunch of roadblocks that Chris hit super quick.
Like what?
So I didn't live here at the time of the shop being built. I was here for vacation at like peak shop building.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah. And I just remember sitting on the floor of the Smoothie King. And Chris is like head in hands like, I just need somebody in the fucking state of Georgia to build a wall.
Yeah, okay. So
he was like, I will pay any cost.
Yeah. So basically, when building out the shop, you have to have permits for everything. And when I mean everything, I mean like if you are paying somebody to do any kind of work.
If it counts as construction.
In a business. And by construction, that is such a fucking loose term. Because literally they had to get permission to paint.
Damn. Shout out to the state of Georgia.
Literally. Like they were like, what can we do while we're waiting for this permit to clear? And they're like, nothing. They're like, can we paint? And they're like, I don't know, man. That one's a little iffy.
I was thinking like, oh, it's something that involves like a ladder or something that involves things. The guy sat there one day. He's like, Chris, I can't even like open the door.
Dog, they literally told me that they weren't allowed to put in like laminate flooring.
Gotta have a permit.
Because it counted as construction. Which is stupid. It's slab floor. Like I helped put it in. Do you know what I mean? Like
it literally just snaps in together.
Yeah.
Like,
it's construction, dude. You're building something. Yeah.
That's like being like, hey, I want to like use this like set of Legos, and you're like, hey man, chill. That's like some hard construction.
I'm like, shit, bro. So roll it back a little bit.
Yeah. So that was a problem because it got down to the wire. Because like you have to schedule all the inspections to open like really far in advance, and I had a timetable to where the last inspection we had to open was on October 27th at 7 a.m. And my first appointment was October 27th at noon. Like, we literally crossed the finish line 5 hours left on the clock. It was so bad. And, like, I couldn't tell anybody that. You know, like, I couldn't freak anybody out about, like, their upcoming appointments. So I just had to, like, have a slow panic attack for like 2 months while building the shop.
I remember like Chris calling me going, all right, if this doesn't work, I can maybe do this. If this doesn't work, I can maybe do this.
Dude,
man, if nobody wants to build this wall, do you know anybody who can build a wall in North Carolina? Can you send them down here?
Dude, for real, because like I had some really good people to help build out the shop, but the problem was they were residential contractors, and you would think that it's the same shit if it's for commercial, but no, you have to like get a separate permit. So they had to get re-permitted, which took like 14 days. So then I had to hit up another one of my friends who has like a partial construction business. And when they went to go do it, like in this particular county, their license to do this one thing had like lapsed. So they had to like resubmit it. And we got to this point where it was like a standstill. And for like a week, we would just show up and we're like, what can we do? Like we'd have like meetings and be like, what can we do? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, I have to be open in 2 weeks. So like there was this point in time where it was like nothing could be done. And then everything got like essentially complete in like the last week. Business week, 5 days.
Yeah. And
it was a nightmare. And like I went over budget, almost ran out of time. What's funny about that is owning it, piece of cake. Like the actual logistics of owning the business, it's super easy because like the fire department is cool. Like I have like a contact there. My health department like rep is a client of mine. The landlord just like leaves us alone. And it's really easy because it's no different than like renting an apartment at that point. You don't own it. You have like a lease and you just put your bills on. Like I was told this by a friend of mine.
Shouts out.
Yeah, my friend Josh Bovender. I asked him for advice about owning a shop, and he said, "I got 2 things to tell you: put everything on auto pay, take care of your people." And honestly, that was like the best advice, because it's really easy. Like, opening a business, difficult. Owning one, the way we're doing it, we're like, we literally lock the doors and just don't fuck with anybody.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So that's the only non-anticipated challenge, getting it open.
Yeah, that was a fun stretch of time.
No, it wasn't.
I remember just all the phone calls of just like, all right, man, I got somebody to build this wall. 5 minutes later, they can't build the wall no more.
Oh my God, dude. It was so much.
I loved it.
Dude, you know what was
And now
super
here we
fucked?
are.
We got to the point where there was only 2 places we could open. Because the shop that we came from was in this different county. And I don't care what standing you leave a shop in. I was taught very early on that you never open up a tattoo shop in the same county. It's just, it's unbecoming. So I went to the next county over, and I basically had to like start from scratch because like I didn't know anybody, which sucks because in the county I was in for so long, like I knew everybody. So that sucked. But their zoning regulations were pretty fucked up, and there was only in this entire area there was 2 buildings that were like essentially zoned for like tattoo shops. One was beside a Publix, which would have been cool, but it was like 3 times as expensive as it should have been, and it was a third of the size.
That's crazy.
And then it was the one that we ended up in, which was an old abandoned Smoothie King from like 2 years ago. So it was like infested with wasps and all this other shit. And the woman who was the property manager was like, yeah, like I really like tattoos. Tattoos are cool. The landlord hates them, so we're gonna have to do a lot to like justify to him that this isn't gonna be like a bad investment. And dude, we jumped through so many hoops. We were like sending like photos of like scar cover-ups and like
you trying to like tattoos are good.
She was like, any way you can justify tattoos or.
I was like digging out old photos of like roses I did and stuff. Just
oh my god.
Oh
You're
yeah,
like, these are memorial roses for somebody's grandma.
Yeah, literally
exactly.
She was like include like a collection of tattoos that essentially like present you in a good light.
Oh my.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what we had to do.
Like here are the cancer awareness ribbons. Like here's everything. Like please.
Yeah, literally that's what we did. We made ourselves look like really like buttoned up like good boys. And then literally you go to our Instagrams and it's just like anime. You know what I mean? Like
cartoons.
And then now she's super cool. She's like, yeah, the landlord loves y'all. He said that if y'all like want to open up like a second location anywhere, like just hit him up. He'll just like let you do it.
Baby.
She literally told me that like we're like her favorite tenants.
Good. I mean, it's probably because the building went from being like a wasp infested like.
We're there 4 days a week. We don't talk to anybody, and
we just
take up 3 parking spaces.
We pay our bills. We have no problems, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you're thinking about opening a tattoo shop, zoning.
Yeah.
Zoning is the craziest.
Well, things are different everywhere you go.
In South Carolina, it was like your front door can't be like 1,000 feet from a church,
school, playground,
or a playground or a residence. Like Chris worked at a shop where they couldn't use the front door because I think the regulation was 500 feet and it was 496 or something stupid.
To a church.
Yeah. So they had to use the back door of this building. So you had to walk from the back of the building to the front of the building.
And there was a sign that was in the ground and it said "Tat-you" with an arrow.
Yeah, because you couldn't put the word tattoo next to the church sign.
So it said "Tat-you."
It's miserable.
Another thing, if the person asking that is somebody that's like wanting to open up their own shop, you should consider that like while society is like more accepting of tattoos than they were like 10 years ago, there are a lot of like old people that still absolutely like hate us. So if you try to do that, you can go to a place that's like zoned properly, everything's great, and you'd be like, hey, I want to like open up my own shop here in Virginia or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we hate your kind.
We don't rent to y'all.
The one thing I was so thankful that we didn't have to do was go to a public hearing.
Oh, dude.
I honestly
that is
thought,
a thing as well that I forgot about.
So if you want to open up a shop and it's not zoned for it, it's like let's say we would have found the perfect spot, but it's not zoned. You can submit it into the newspaper, and you have to wait 4 weeks.
Yep.
So that's to run for a month, and then you have to go to like a town meeting where the town like representatives get to vote, and you get to present your case.
I used to have to do that at an old job I had, which was miserable.
We had already decided. I was like, Mitch has got to be the
You
one
have
do
to
it.
go.
Because I'm not doing it. I'll just be like, I would just show up.
I was just about to say. I was gonna be like, look at Chris. If you guys have like
Yeah.
the video up or whatever, like Chris does not drink, smoke. He's one of the most like just organized. Like you're just a very decent person.
Yeah.
But like your appearance, like old people think you were so scary.
Oh yeah. Like I'm like
That boy's gonna mug me.
literally. It's like I'm straight edge. I'm vegan, and like I just sit around with my cats, and I would show up at a public hearing, and they'd be like, "He's here to represent the devil."
Yeah.
He sells tickets to hell.
That's what our grandma says.
That's what our grandma does say.
But yeah, man, it was a nightmare. But now it's great, honestly. Like I mean, now that we've like proven ourselves, like if we go to like City Hall, or like not City Hall, is it City Hall? Or
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
they all know us. They all like really like us, and the lady who really helped us get it open, like she like knows us. Like
Shout
by
out to
first
D.
name.
Thank
Dude,
you.
D helped it up. D hooked it up.
She's like just this really sweet lady that's up there, and she was like, "Well, I'm gonna come get tattooed from you guys." And she actually sent me an
Aw.
email
Did she?
to book. Yeah,
Tat her for free, baby.
I might.
You better
actually.
hook her up.
She wanted a flower, right?
It was. I think she asked for a butterfly. I need to check the email.
Okay.
Yeah, an 803 butterfly.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, represent.
Gang,
Great,
gang.
very sweet lady.
Never
Yeah,
forget
she
where you're
was
from.
really cool.
You want to
Dude,
hit that
sick.
next
What
question?
A great question that was. This is a very interesting one. How long did it take for you and the crew to rely just on tattooing financially?
Oh.
Oh
This
man,
is a rough one.
that is a rough one.
Okay. I'll go first because mine is easy.
Yeah,
Mitch has to know. Mitch has to.
I'm trying
Mitch
to
is like
think,
last Tuesday.
I'm trying to
Mitch-
think how to like.
Mitch is about to play mental mindset.
yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. So during my apprenticeship, I didn't get paid. I just kind of lived off of my tip money, and I left because like I had a misunderstanding with the owner of the shop I started at, and we're cool now. But like we talked about it like years later. There's another dude at the shop who like hated me, and he was just trying to like kick me out. So he succeeded. So I left, and then I started at this other place, and that was a whole.
We got to tell y'all some stories about that other place one day.
God, yeah, I do. That place was insane. The owner's name was Lugnut, if that tells you anything.
I love
I
it.
caught him
Yeah,
doing
me too.
cocaine in his car. Like I showed up and I was like, "Hey man, here's like the money from my tattoo." And I gave it to him. He goes, "Oh, dude, this is perfect." And he just like just straight. Yeah.
Did you call him like
Oh my
Lug for
gosh.
short?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everyone called him Lug.
Okay.
There's a dude there who thought he was Lil Wayne, and he literally airbrushed a photo of himself like with like a tattoo machine, and Lil Wayne like with a microphone on the hood of his car. And in his station, he just had like a bunch of like Lil Wayne like portraits he drew, and he had like a 70-inch TV like on the ground in his station with like a bin of bootleg movies. And I remember like the Incredible Hulk playing, but it was like through like a camera like in someone's jacket, so it's all like, you know, shaky cam the whole time. I remember turning like Abomination is like running, and it's like all fucked looking. And then he kept all of his inks in like a separate bin, and he tattooed off of like styrofoam plates.
Gang, gang.
Dude.
It was
Sanitation,
it
dude.
was insane. I watched him like pull out his phone during a tattoo, like with blood on his hands, and then just like hand it to a small child.
So just like a quick note on that. Like I remember when I decided I was going to tattoo, I was like, man, my family is going to be so pissed because like my mom and dad don't like tattoos and stuff like that. No one in my family does, and it's because when you ask somebody, like most people that don't have tattoos, like what a tattoo shop looks like, it is that guy.
Yeah. It's Lugnut and this other guy. I'm not gonna say his name,
Yeah, I got you.
but
We can use default name of Spider. We use that name a lot.
I love that name. Yeah.
all right. So this is Spider 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And Yeah, then there was like a dude who like was an apprentice and he was dating the other apprentice.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
good sign.
committed acts of domestic abuse on her at the shop.
That sucks.
It was a really bad time. So when I left, a week after I left, they got like busted, like kicked in and
Flashbanged. And
yeah. So pretty sure everyone's in jail. So got out of there. It was a real rough place, honestly. I really, really, really hated my existence there.
Were you financially stable at this
I
point?
was.
You
That
were.
was the first shop I was financially stable at, and then I left and I went to another shop. But it's because that was the first shop that I was classified as an artist, because the bar was very low and I sucked.
And they were like, yo, Chris is cranking out these tats, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing better than tattooing off a styrofoam plate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was good.
So how many years would you say you were into the game at that point?
Oh, I mean, my apprenticeship was like a year and a half. So I would say probably within like 3 months of working there, I was like financially stable.
So like a year and a half into this journey.
I guess at that point you would classify it as like closer to 2 years.
Okay.
Is like whenever I was like financially stable doing it. But like, I mean, during my apprenticeship and stuff, I was in school. I was in college for 3/4 of a year. So I was like living off of school money.
Yep.
And I just stopped going to class at a certain point. Just used the money.
Just use the money for.
Dude, I was so
Everything
tired
else.
during my apprenticeship that because I worked 7 days a week. I worked every single day. They had my school schedule. So when I wasn't in school, I was expected to be there. And I needed to sleep. So it hit a point where I just stopped going to class. And the times that I was supposed to be in class, I just slept in my car in the parking lot of the university. Because they would drive by to see if I was there.
I can see them doing that.
So I just slept in my back seat. And then I lied. Because like they told me I had to stay in school to keep the apprenticeship.
That was kind of nice of them.
Kind of. But then like when the fuck could I do that?
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, hey, don't sleep for a year. And
Yeah.
so
I mean, there was some stuff that
there was a lot of shit.
those people had us doing. I spent a lot of that apprenticeship with you, and man, that really turned me off from
It was
the
bad.
idea. Me and Chris driving through the woods at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. in the dark to go buy a pig from a man in the woods
Yeah.
so that Chris could maybe tattoo this pig.
Pigskin, to be clear.
Yeah. It was a
Um,
full skinned pig.
Yeah.
And we
But-
fit it in the back of a Toyota Corolla.
Bro, there's so much shit about my apprenticeship that was a nightmare. But that's neither here nor there. That's a totally separate conversation.
That's next episode.
But Mitch, how long did it take
All
for
right.
you to get financially
So-
Here we
stable?
go.
I'm just gonna let Mitch navigate this.
I'm gonna let this just be like kind of a short, succinct kind of answer. But like for the question though, I actually think that question needs to be unpacked like a little bit because like how well you do like financially tattooing depends on like so many things. It depends. Are you actually good at tattooing? Like if you suck or you're bad at social media or the shop that you work in is just like terrible. Like you just work for a piece of garbage or something like that. Like you're going to end up in this situation where, like if your shop has a bad reputation, you're a great artist, you are probably not going to suffer from that. Right. And like, I know tattooers that I think are great people, but like maybe their work isn't as good as maybe like I think it maybe like should be, but their social media is great and they're killing it because of that. So it depends on a lot of things for like how well you do financially. It depends on like your location, how good you are at like a number of different things, and how your shop is. It kind of like Chris's apprenticeship, I'd kind of just sort of like a tough time here and there.
Let me clarify one thing before you say anything else.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Mitch's apprenticeship is split in half.
Yeah. Yeah. I should clarify that. Yeah.
So
One half of it was at one shop, and another half was under Chris directly at Nimbus Tattoo.
yeah,
So
Just-
the first part of
just
my
for the record.
the first part of my apprenticeship was pretty rough. And as far as like how well you're going to do financially, just think about your location and stuff like that. Think about like the reputation that your shop has, like how professional you guys are. And sometimes it's just like the region that you're in. there are places, if you go to New York, they charge more for tattoos, or like LA, than they do in like Alabama. It's just the nature of things like that. But what I was going to say is, like, being at the shop that we're at now, things operate a lot differently than a shop that maybe takes like 50 or 60% of your income, which maybe this is not a right thing to say. I kind of think that's bullshit, to be real with you. It is what it is. That's how I feel about it. You can be mad about it or not.
No,
I
it's
think that's
honestly an antiquated business model for
Yeah.
tattooing.
So that's just something to consider. If you want to make more money, or you're like worried about it and you're getting into tattooing, get really good at social media. I kind of suck at social media, but if you're good at it, like really lean into that.
Hey, what's your at, Mitchell?
Mitchell.tattoo.
Hey, go follow Mitch.
I was ready, man. I was ready that time. But yeah, just like get really good at social media. Try to like network a little bit. Like if you have like friends that tattoo, or like people you look up to, ask them questions, because like there are tons of people that, like, I don't know, Chris has never heard of, and they'll shoot him a message and be like, "What's up, man? I love your work. Is there any chance like you'd be willing to like talk to me a little? Like what's some advice you can give me?" And like I've never seen Chris one time be like, "Absolutely not. Get out of here, you peon. Like I don't want to talk to you."
Yeah.
Like,
Man, you don't have a K next to your
yeah,
number?
so
Get out of here.
For me, I also want to say, if you're going to do an apprenticeship, under almost like 95% of circumstances, you are going to need help from friends, family, or you are going to have to be very, very well prepared.
Yep.
I was actually pretty well prepared. Like I'd saved up like several $1,000s, and I had like Chris helped me a ton, my family helped me a ton, and it was still like pretty terrible, like at times for the first like year. So just, you want to be prepared for that kind of thing if that's what you're considering getting into. If you're looking at tattooing and you're like, well, how long would I have to like invest time into before I'm like fine? It just depends.
It's up to you. I mean, it depends on what you think is stable. Like, is stable for you? Cool, I paid my rent and I bought groceries. Or is it, I just bought this cool car and I bought a PS5.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the floor of my empty apartment.
Right.
Like, it depends on what you classify it as.
Yep.
I mean, you're definitely going to have to suffer a little bit. I mean, and I know that's kind of shitty to say, but it's like with anything. If you go to school for 6 years or some shit, like, you are suffering in some regard. You know what I
Yeah.
Gang, baby.
But I will say, at least with tattooing, when you come out the other end, you don't have any debt from the tattooing side. I mean, you might rack up something on your credit card.
You might need to go to therapy or something. That's also
that's
another possibility.
That's a thing.
I mean, like,
Which, if you need to, by all means. Like,
Yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of that.
No, I've been to therapy.
Yeah.
I think everyone here has.
Yeah.
Not to out anybody, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
So tattooing can be very demanding on you, both physically and mentally. But I don't know if I want to.
Nah.
it's a lot to think about. Like, the only way that I
That's-
can make this work as like an apprentice, and like I don't think anybody's ever tipped me or offered to do anything.
No.
But I'm like, no, like, it's cool. Like, the only reason I can make it work, I live with Chris, dude. Like,
I have a very weird habit of my apprentices living with me.
Yeah.
like I live
It's
with
'cause you're
Chris.
very
Like,
nice.
we just hang out all day and just.
Well, I also have for me personally, like, I have this prerequisite with tattooing, which is anyone who is an apprentice of mine specifically, like, now that like I own the shop, like, you have to have a part-time job. Like, hey, Ashley.
Hello.
Hey. You want to come in here?
Sure.
You can just come over here.
So on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just pop squat.
Thank you so much. This is Ashley. This is my girlfriend.
What up? Yes. There you go. That's good.
That's good.
You're so short.
Yeah, you're just
Damn,
like Mitch.
bro.
We're
I'm
actually-
taller
we're-
than you. So
Crazy. We're actually like the same height, but whatever. It's fine.
no,
Actually,
actually,
it's all
I'm
good.
slightly taller than
Oh,
you.
here we go.
Whatever.
It doesn't-
She's like a freak of nature. She's like 6'4". So
It doesn't affect Mitch's
I'm
ego at
just
all.
kidding. Go ahead.
But yeah, like,
Too southern to be smart. No, I'm a freak of nature.
but yeah, like, I won't allow anyone to apprentice if they don't have a part-time job,
Yeah.
because I don't believe in people just because like I had it hard, just because Mitch had it hard. I don't believe that someone else has to have it as rough. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's just unfair. Tattooing's already hard enough. It's already gonna beat you down. Like, I don't need to like beat you down more.
Yeah. I go in. I can't disclose what my job is because I realized the other day that I signed a piece of paper
Ooh.
that says I can't say what my job is on the internet.
It's not as cool as you think.
It's not. Ow.
Why would you poke his leg?
Why would you poke my knee that's swollen, you douchebag?
It was so fluffy.
But yeah, like I work like 50, 60 hours a week at my normal job, and then like Chris would be like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm gonna go like hang some shit in the ceiling at the shop for 4 hours."
Which looked really good.
Yeah, you did a really good job.
Thank you guys,
Yeah, Michael's been doing a really good job with all the nice aesthetic changes to the shop,
dude.
which we have a lot more that we're going to do.
Yep, waiting for the boxes
Yep, they should be here any day now.
any day now.
Well, you want to grab another question, I guess?
Dude, I am. The next one is if you could only tattoo one anime for the rest of your life,
Oh my
what would that
gosh.
anime be?
My Hero.
My Hero? That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's a large cast of characters. Most of the characters have variations in their designs or outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the way that I do like my color backing and color blending, it just aesthetically fits really well. Like anytime I get to tattoo My Hero, I'm like pretty pumped.
For me, it's not my favorite anime ever, but actually Demon Slayer, because same reason, there's a lot of characters. They all look visually different. And like one of my least favorite things is if you have a character, like someone's like, I just want this guy, and the dude has like nothing. It's just like a regular like dude. Do you know what I mean? Because like
It's just Jin.
you're like, all right, well, I have to find something to like do with the background or whatever. At least like Tanjiro or like whoever, they have like fire or like you can add stuff to the design outside of just like the character. You know, it's easier when they have like an element like Zenitsu or
I'll tell
whatever.
you why my answer wouldn't be Demon Slayer.
What's that?
I love Demon Slayer.
hot take.
No, I absolutely love Demon Slayer, and I really like to tattoo from it.
Yeah.
The problem is, like Nezuko ain't in the show as much as people want her tattooed. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
That's fair.
the well of references runs dry quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like
Yo, if someone's like, I want Tengen.
there's a lot of good Tengen references.
Yeah,
though.
but if you have to tattoo 15 of them or 20 of them,
I'd be okay with that. I really would be. I think like as the show progresses too, like there's so like Chris.
You got to think Mitch is at the end of that journey.
I've finished the manga and stuff, so like I know like what's gonna happen, like what characters
do.
are coming, and like there are some very very cool characters like design wise like that I really like. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love Demon Slayer. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Because like I think the art style for Demon Slayer is clearly way more visually appealing
yeah,
than My Hero. But I think My Hero, because of the length of it, and I know it's still going,
yeah.
and it's going to end up with like 10 seasons. You know what I mean? So like the references,
You're saying like Deku season 1 is dramatically different from Deku season like 4.
yes,
Yeah,
which is like Tanjiro is Tanjiro, other than like in the beginning he has long hair and like a knitted scarf.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And
I get
like,
you.
and I love the character design, but there's not this massive amount of reference. Like if someone's like Ren Goku, you're like,
The one movie.
do you know what I mean? It's like you have
Yeah.
the movie and then the adaptation of the movie, and the manga kind of looks like shit.
Here is why I don't think that is a big deal. Okay, my favorite. If I had to give like a top 3 favorite anime,
Here we go.
they're all like kind of old. It's like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and probably Samurai Champloo.
26 episode
Dude,
shows.
I love those. They're
Yeah.
great. They're short, whatever, right? I love those shows. The in-between frames look like absolute hot garbage. Like, the character will be like half drawn. Their proportions are crazy. They just look nuts. And, like, I love those shows. And, like, it doesn't bother me when I'm watching it. But if somebody's like, I want to get, like a Spike Spiegel tattoo,
Mhm.
right? You have, like, I don't know, like 10 different
I got
images you
15,
can
I got
choose
15
from.
frames
And
from this one episode.
That's it. So like Demon Slayer, while you are like Rengoku's only in like the one movie, he's got like the one fight scene really. The in between
Spoilers for Demon
references
Slayer.
and stuff where he's like
Mhm.
he's like moving are so much better in terms of quality. than
They
anything else.
are, but like the question is forever.
Yeah.
So if you're tattooing for 30 years, you think there's enough Ren Goku to stretch you 30 years?
You gotta
Do you
start,
think that
you gotta
My
start
Hero
innovating.
is going to be better than that? Though?
No.
I don't know. I feel like
in
that's
terms
a,
of references,
that's a weak,
I'm saying
comparison point.
no, it's not.
it's going to get to the point where you just have like, this is Rengoku eating. This is Rengoku at the bus
Yeah,
stop.
whatever. I mean,
This
give him ramen or like there's
Let me-
stuff
let-
you can
let-
do.
No, but let me put it to you this way: if like for 30 years you only got to tattoo Ren Goku,
I didn't say I only want to tattoo Rengoku.
no. But my
That's
point,
different.
but the point is like think about the length of the show.
Yeah,
versus the length that My Hero will eventually be.
Sure.
Which one do you think you could actually stretch out for 30 years?
I think I could stretch out Demon Slayer.
You are fucking insane.
No, I 100% think I could.
You were wrong,
I
but that is okay.
I disagree completely. I mean, it's like, if you're like, I want to, like, think about Deku. Like, yeah, he looks different, but it's like, I don't know, you have Deku where he's got, like, his hood on, and you have, like...
You have the bunny hood. You have the ripped bunny hood. You have normal clothes. You have his
Those are, like,
you have his first outfit. You have him.
Like, that two's different.
Spoilers for My Hero.
He's got a different glove on in that one.
You have...
We'll put a buffer on this.
Yeah. Well, then you have him...
I mean, it's also getting spoiled for me, so here we are.
But then you have like the first outfit, then you have the updated outfit, then you have the one from the movie, then you have the shit that's going in the manga right now. It's like versus like, all right, you want long hair or short hair, Tandro?
I mean, but at the same time, you can also get creative with stuff. Like, for example, like I was working on some Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, right? And like Fushiguro, one design. So far for the whole series, one design.
Yeah.
That's all he's got. But you can do stuff like the credits, right? He's like got headphones on and stuff. Like he never wears that in the show.
I'm not saying that there's not a lot of references. I'm saying based off the question.
I'm saying that you could easily stretch Demon Slayer out like that. Not less than My Hero, I think.
I think so.
Oh well,
for sure.
This is a very simple question.
All right,
we let that go so much.
Everybody go to the Nimbus Tattoo website. Book with Mitch and Chris exclusively My Hero for one, Demon Slayer for the other. We'll just see who runs out of ideas first.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
We'll see who gets there.
I would love to tattoo more My Hero.
Yeah, I want to tattoo more Demon Slayer.
There we go.
You're just like
that website, by the way, is www.
Nimbus Tattoo.
Cool. Let's go on to the next one. This is one from. Damn, this guy's attractive.
Mitch, look at my toes.
Oh crap, Michael.
Mitch, look at my toes.
This guy asked, "What are some red flags in tattooing?" Ow.
Wait, clients or?
I wrote this as let's just say somebody. A lot of the people who come to the shop travel. Let's just say somebody's not fortunate enough to be able to travel out to see us or travel to Sad Fam or any other big anime shop or just shop in general. What are something that they can go to, like, oh, this is the shop in my town. Oh, maybe I should go out of town. Oh, maybe this guy shouldn't do this, you know?
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's a very loaded question because like you could go any direction. You could say red flag as in like they have terrible Google reviews. Like you could
that's
say
something to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say actually it's just over here popping my toes. Can you hear that?
Last time
the
used car salesman approach.
It's so loud. She's like breaking Chris's foot. Like
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, let's see if we can hear it. Do it.
Oh, that was weak.
That was
Dude,
weak.
That was
Break it
really
off.
hard.
Just
No.
Rip it off.
Hold on. This foot's not doing so well.
You got it. There.
Oh, there's one.
that wasn't. There's no way.
Oh, too much.
All right. Here's
We're
my
going
thing
to the
with that.
emergency room
Okay.
now.
Chris said this to me a long time ago, and I really do agree with it. You can be as good as you want to be at tattooing. You can do the best tattoos in the entire world, but if you are not clean, you are completely irrelevant.
Red flag.
It does not matter.
Yeah. My
And
friend Shay said that. He said if you're not sterile, you're not worth shit.
Yeah. And
100%.
so like if you go into a shop and you just like take a quick glance around, like you'll get a feel for whether or not it's like a sanitary environment, right? If you see somebody that's like puts a glove on and like grabs something and then maybe like grab some, do you know what I mean? Like just like look at what they're doing and like think about how
if somebody touches the trash can and they do not wash their hands, you get the hell out of that.
I'll give you a really good example. If you ever see somebody like set up their station without gloves on,
yeah, it freaks me out.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
But I'll also say that is not like I'm not trying to like,
It's
put
not-
anybody
yeah,
in blast.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
just it's
It's not. I've seen it a million times personally and medically. That's fucking gross.
yeah, like factually, we're not trying to like.
I
put
set
anybody in
up
blast
the
for
station
it,
for
but-
my own tattoo, and I swapped gloves like 6 times.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I don't care if you sit there and like wash your hands. Okay, think about a surgeon, right? They're sitting there, they're scrubbing in. They're using like the crazy fucking soap, right? And then what if they just walked into the fucking surgical room and they just are like scalpel, Do you know what I mean? Like,
Spare hand.
you'd be like, yo, man, that's kind of fucking gross. But it's like, you see there's some like barely wash their hands and they're like just barehanding the station. It's gross. It's fucking gross. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I would have I've actually done this before. I've gotten tattooed by somebody and they went to wipe me without gloves. And I was like, no.
Here's my other red
I
flag.
let it happen, dude.
No.
I've let it happen.
Hell
No,
no.
I get it, dude. Here's my other thing. Whenever you walk into a tattoo shop, like, I don't know, I've like walked in one before and like, I get every vibe is different. Some people like really like the kind of like gruff, like street shop kind of thing. Like that's fine if that's what you're into. But if you walk in and you feel like people start like circling you like a shark and they're like, what you trying to get today?
It's like you use
Didn't I
car
say that
sales.
last
yeah,
time?
you were talking about that.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. Oh,
Those
yeah.
are red flag. Yeah.
If they're,
I'll
if
get
they're out there
you
trying
in,
to
bro.
suck money out of you for
I
a
actually
permanent
talked about
thing,
that.
You talking about?
Yeah, I talked to the guy who's like, I've been studying forever.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
walked
that's
into this place and like the second we walked in, every single person that was in sight just ran to the back.
Yeah.
anyone that's like, I'll do anything. I can crush it.
red flag.
No. That's a terrible.
Our red flag
Oh.
is if someone doesn't have a portfolio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
For
If their Instagram is private,
Yes.
red
You know
flag.
what? Let's just say this: if you're thinking about getting tattooed in your hometown, or you're like trying to find a place to go, find an artist specifically that is doing something similar to what you already want.
We talked about this. Last
Yeah.
time because we had the whole argument of like, oh, but I believe in you. You know, we talked about
Yeah.
that. So I
Follow
feel like
them. Yeah.
I feel like this question we covered pretty extensively last time.
Yeah.
So like, what else we
Just
got?
watch out if you're clean.
Yeah. Hit us
No
with another-
used car
Oh, I will
salesman.
say this. I did walk
Here
into
we
this
go.
one shop one time, and I saw this dude. I don't remember where the fuck I was, but I saw this guy break down. Like I just like walked in. I was just like surveying the area, and he broke down his station like without gloves on, and then his sharps container was like on the ground, and I just saw him go and try to
Hell
fucking
yeah.
like get it in, and it hit the side and like rolled into the lobby. And I was like, "You gross bitch."
Did he
You
try
were-
again?
He just walked over and picked it up, and then he threw it in the trash can.
Nice.
Oh, dude.
And I forget. I was with these people who like I used to be friends with, and they were they were trying to get tattooed. Like they were like, and they're like, "Yeah, we've heard good things about this place." And they looked at me, and I was like, "We gotta go, get the fuck out of here."
Red flag.
I used to have friends who like they didn't like the style I did, so like they would use me to like survey like where to get tattooed, and I'd be like, "No, get the fuck out of this place."
Red flag. How much should I tip my artist?
Ooh.
Okay. I have very strong feelings on this.
Yep. Go ahead.
Tips should not be expected. They are appreciated.
Yep.
I am fully aware of how much I charge. I'm aware tattoos are expensive. I'm aware that tattoos are a luxury item, and I'm aware that 90% of people who get tattooed by me now travel. That is renting a car. That is a place to stay. That is a plane ticket. That is hard-earned money that you are spending to come here already. Don't tip me. I don't care. Honestly, if you feel the need to, if you feel that like internal desire to like, you know, like gift me with something, like whether it be like something physical to put on a shelf or money, that is very nice. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. I do not expect it. Do not feel bad if you don't do it. You are traveling so that I can tattoo Dragon Ball characters for a living. I'm good. I already have the greatest job in the world. I don't need any more from people.
Yeah, I kind of have like the same feeling. Like you're not required to tip or anything like that, and when you do, it is like very, very, very appreciated. It's really cool when people bring like gifts and stuff too. If you've done that for me or Chris, like that is that's really cool when people want to like show you their appreciation that way. But I've had people message me before and they're like, "Well, how much is the tattoo?" And I'll be like, "It's this much," and they'll say like, "Well, I won't be able to tip if it's that much," and it's like, well. I mean, for one, I'm not gonna haggle with how much it's worth, but it's also like if you have to make a choice between getting a tattoo and like You know what I mean? Like if it's like
Yeah.
you can't tip, so you're not going to get it. It's fine. Like that's what I charge for it. You're not obligated to do that. I'm not going to like put you on some like blacklist where I'm like, you know, James
that guy.
never tipped. Yeah, I'm like,
No, like,
never
you're-
going to tattoo.
You're
him again.
performing like a service for somebody. So if you have a plumber come out and they're like, cool, that's $300.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like, damn, dude, like I've only got $300. I'm an asshole for not tipping this plumber. Like, no, you're like, it's a normal service. Like, we are in the service industry.
Yeah.
We are in high stakes customer service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is still in the service industry. So it is appreciated. We don't live off of tips.
Yeah.
And when you're at the bottom of the playing field, I think it does
Oh,
come
but
into effect.
I will say this. I have a totally different opinion on that when it comes to apprentices.
I was about to say that. I was going to.
If you are getting tattooed by an apprentice, please tip them. They are not making anything.
Yeah. I think bare minimum you were covering.
At least cover the
Setting it
supplies.
up, yeah.
This sounds so fucked. But like if you're getting like a small tattoo that takes 30 minutes or less from an apprentice, throw them at least $20. Just give them the money to cover the supplies that they used on you. That is like that. That's
'Cause
fine.
They're not making anything out.
Yeah.
No.
People that tipped me during my apprenticeship, it means a ton. It's like a huge encouragement when people are willing to do that for you.
But don't give an apprentice like $400.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, that's not
like
it.
that's
That's too
unwarranted.
much.
Because at that point in time, like the reward for them is getting to tattoo.
Yeah. I got to practice. Thank you.
Yeah, like that means more than anything. So like honestly, just like covering the cost of supplies and like if you feel so inclined, like a little more than that, that is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
But don't.
They can't pad
Yeah.
the price. Like Mitch wasn't in there going, all right, the shop minimum is 60, so I'm gonna have to price this as this. It's like it's 60, bud.
No, like early on, it's like, you know, the risk of it being fucked up is high.
Yeah.
So you are
you
paying.
can't charge for that.
No, like you are essentially providing a service to the apprentice.
Yep.
You know, you're helping them further their career.
And I will say the people that let me tattoo them early on do mean like a lot to me.
Bless you.
I'm still friends with like I think literally all of them. Like the first like like John is like one of the first 5. He's sitting in here with us right now. Like I love John. So it does
you
mean
too.
a lot. Yeah, dude. You're the best. You wore that shirt last time. I think.
I'm sorry.
John, why do you look like
Sorry,
you
I
just
just
discovered
noticed.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, he did.
He must have like really loved that movie.
You got to get the hat.
But the point I'm trying to make is
They
just
do
that,
walk
like,
in herds.
for apprentices, like the
They
stuff you
do.
do makes a big
I
difference.
love
That's
the
all.
one where it has the pan flute music
Yeah.
when they're walking.
I love the one. There's one where it's the pan flute and they're wearing like Jordans.
Yeah.
And it's the "What Are Those" playing in the background on a pan flute.
It is so good.
Dude, somebody dig up that vine.
It is so good. I miss mine.
Let's see. Let's go to the next one here. Best way to lay out a leg sleeve. That is an anime theme.
I'm gonna be real with you. I piecemeal it.
Yeah.
I focus on one piece at a time. If you already know, like let's say, for example, you're like, oh, I want to do an entire sleeve of this one particular show, right? So let's say you want to do like Attack on Titan. Now I know everyone in this room is not caught up on Attack on Titan, so I'm gonna avoid specifics. But
Buffers in case there's spoilers for Attack on Titan. You can click out.
so let's say you want to do a whole sleeve of like all of the humans and then all of the Titans, right? So like all of the humanoid characters who then become Titans. Then I at least know, okay, there's X number of these, so we'll like figure out a size that works, and then we'll like confine it to this specific area. Other than things like that, I mean, if you just like you're like, I want these 7 characters, that's fine. That's fine with me. You know, we'll just avoid putting things together that have like incredibly similar color schemes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're getting like a Dragon Ball sleeve and you're like, I don't know, I want Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. I'm probably gonna separate them
Yeah.
on your arm.
I want Chaozu and Krillin.
Yeah, it's like just avoid all the bald characters being like grouped together and avoid all the characters with blue hair together, because otherwise it's just you're not gonna have like enough contrast.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it's like as long as you're the single person doing the entire arm, if you know how to like connect your backgrounds together organically, like I don't really worry too much about it. Because sometimes I'll tattoo people and like I'll start a sleeve and then it's not done for 2 more years. And then halfway through the sleeve, they're like, man, Chainsaw Man's pretty sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and
like,
you're like, well, all right, we can fit this in.
yeah. So like, I don't really plan it that heavily because it's so subject to change. And like, I don't want to lock into anything because I don't do the thing that some people do in other styles where they'll like outline the whole thing and then color it bit by bit because people never finish
That
those.
those are insane.
Yeah.
It's a horrible idea in my opinion because people never finish them.
I mean, you get tattooed for 12 hours and you're like, all right, cool, another 70 hours and I'm going to have this colored in.
You are way more likely to finish a sleeve in my experience if you do it piece by piece and finish each piece at a time.
It also looks better because
Yeah.
you'll have like 2 pieces that are like complete and maybe like together rather than you having a whole bunch of just lines. Like
Yeah.
that, in my opinion, I don't think
Well,
looks as
also
good.
the problem is like if you're like severely booked out and you can only get in with the artist like every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
If you just do line work, that ink is going to spread over time. Like if you have like all these like really thin lines, or even if you like bloodline some shit, it is going to be a completely different set of line work now versus a year from now.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fuck yourself.
Never box yourself in.
Yeah. Never. I told that to Michael about like designing stuff. You never ever cut yourself off. Never do it.
So, hey, book your anime leg sleeve now.
I tell people honestly that if they want to book a sleeve, like there's a guy who literally is getting an Attack on Titan sleeve next year, and he said, "How many sessions is it going to take?" And I told him, like based off his idea, and we booked all the sessions.
Wow. That's
Because
crazy.
then you're consistent. Because like honestly too, if you get tattooed by one person, right, and then it takes you 3 years to finish an arm, that shit is going to look way different.
Yep.
From like where you started to where you finished.
Yep.
Because you want people to get better.
Yeah.
So not to say like it's going to look bad, but you kind of want to get like something that large scale that's tied together like pretty consistently. So it looks like one person did it at this one particular time in their career and it's all cohesive. So
You might as well be a different artist from one year to the next.
I'm a different artist than I was 4 years ago.
You're a different artist now than you were like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
So
next one.
Boom, big one. Man, another one from the great Coach _Brett_Owens. I'm just gonna get everybody's reaction to this. Bing bong.
Fuck your life.
Fuck your life. That's great.
Yeah. Thanks, Brett.
you also don't need to call it the person.
No, I'm calling out Brett. Brett's the only person I've called out.
Okay.
Besides Mitch.
Which, come on, man.
No, dude, you gotta know.
What's up with that?
Quit calling people.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call this person out. Are we looking into hiring anyone new?
Not apprentices, but we're in the process of adding a couple more stations to the shop. So I think at this point, we had talked about possibly having one more person, right? Like one more full artist.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you said, right?
Yeah, I want to have one more tattooer who's like fully established because we don't do walk-ins, right? So with Michael apprenticing and we have another person who's supposed to apprentice because they're going to be like integrated into the shop for like a long time. Whenever you do that, you naturally meet clients. They find out that like, oh, like you're the apprentice, like whenever you can tattoo, let me know. And then you cultivate like a group of people who are willing to get tattooed by you early on, right? But if you just show up and you're a tattooer with no following, you're going to starve because we're not like the shop will promote you.
Yeah.
But that is the extent of what the shop will do. Like we're not going to take walk-ins. We're not going to allow the doors to be open so that way you can like beg for walk-ins because it's a private studio. So I want to have one person who's like well established, has a following, they can govern themselves and they can just integrate into the shop. But I will also say we talked pretty extensively about this and we won't hire anybody without them doing like a couple of guest spots.
Yeah, the input that like I've given Chris and stuff like that whenever like this kind of stuff has ever come up, is that like there is like a ton of really, really, really cool people that we like love, but This is going to be maybe like a dumb analogy. Both of us used to like play music a little bit and stuff, but trying to like work with other people is a little bit like starting a band. Like if you don't have like the same like idea about like what you're like wanting to do, or like the same direction, or like your personalities are just like different, it will make a really good environment suck to work in, you know, like you want to find people that just kind of like gel with you, and even like the stuff that they do. I don't think it's like a big, like I do like a lot of black and gray anime stuff, and Chris is like color anime. I don't think it's like a big deal if somebody does one or both of those things, but like if there's like a little bit of like differentiation, like that would be like great.
Yeah, well, you don't want to step on anyone's toes, right? So I wouldn't want someone in the shop who does the same exact style that you do, because that's not fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, at that point, it's really about growing. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to try to push yourself anyway.
But I would like to try to avoid things that are too similar.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that.
I would like to have someone who does something different, whether that be anime or something. I want someone who specializes in something specific.
Yeah.
That would grow the shop. But yeah, like we wouldn't allow anyone to work at the shop who hasn't guest spotted a couple times, just because I don't know, like Mitch was saying, you want to gel in the shop and like have everyone get along. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to know how you get along with anybody until I literally work with you.
Also, something to just kind of like punch in here really quick. This may be a pro for some people and this may be a con for some people, but the way that Nimbus Tattoo works is like we're like very, very independent. Like I don't know. I book everything for myself. I pick like what hours my appointments are. I do my own deposits. I order my own stuff. Like I have my own like shelf, like this like thing.
Yeah.
Chris has his own shelf. So like, this may not be a thing that you're into like personally, but you kind of have to be like a little bit like like he was saying, like being self-sustaining. Like you have to be willing to like talk to people on Instagram consistently. You don't want to just like leave people on red, or like you want to like show up on time for your appointments. You know, like that's important. Like make sure you don't like run out of stuff, and like it's part of
the shop doesn't provide anything other than
the building,
a thermofax.
Yeah, we do provide that.
A printer and a space to tattoo.
Yeah.
Our shop is more of a collective, and less of like a normal shop. So,
and you may want somebody to do the booking for you. Like you may like having like a counter person that like does that, or you may want like
the shop to order you supplies, or you may want the shop to, I don't know, like some people need like a buffer. You know, some people need something like that. But like we just don't do that. We want everyone to be self-sufficient and stripped down, because honestly, it's a lot easier if you're a tattooer, like tax-wise.
Chris is not a CPA.
No.
This is not tax advice.
No, it's not. But it's better when you essentially are completely independent.
I think for both of us, that works better.
Yeah. And I basically, I'm like 12 years into this, and I know this is the first shop I've ever had, but like I don't want to babysit anybody. I just don't have it in me. And I just want someone to kind of like work with us who is an adult.
And it's not gather around, guys. We're gonna do the world famous order. Who needs blue?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You know, like I very much want to work with mature, like self-sustaining individuals.
Yeah. I think that kind of sums that up, though.
All right, we got one more question.
Okay.
Have there been some difficult customers? If so, what are some crazy client stories?
I've only witnessed one ever, so.
At our shop, no, right?
0.
We haven't had...
Other than shouts out Banana Man.
Banana Man is just cool.
Love you, baby. I hope you listen to this.
I feel like, I
my
feel
man.
like pretty much everybody has been really cool. There are like, I feel like there's like one or two like weird just like conversations I've had with people, but like those aren't really ones that I think I would share here.
Okay. How about this? I have a story that I really like. Did I tell this story on the podcast that got corrupted?
The Hatchet Man story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the corrupted one. So you can tell
Okay.
the story of Clown Man.
Okay. How this? I will tell the clown man story,
Okay.
and you can tell the other story.
You gotta do Clown Man is the best story.
Yeah, John, how long have we been going?
Hold
A
on,
long time.
we're gonna cut this out.
I want to just know.
We're gonna edit this.
About like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Hour 20.
Okay.
Sick.
Cool. All right. So we'll tell these stories, and that'll probably like wrap it up.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
So, I worked at this shop where,
That's how I feel.
I love this story so much. So there's this dude who got rescheduled 3 times. I was not the person tattooing this particular client. So he was getting a clown, and the clown got rescheduled several times. One time because he forgot his ID. The second time was because the clown did not look sad enough,
That was my favorite one.
and because the clown needed to be the opposite direction. So if you know anything about tattooing, aesthetically, they face inward and downward, right? So if you're going to get like a face tattooed on you, you want it to be towards you and not away, because it just draws focus inward to like more tattoos. So this man wanted this clown sitting on like a box as a half sleeve, but the clown was faced the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Right.
Always. He had like a thing. It's like, why do you want it that way? He's like, I'm always looking behind me.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
always
like-
watching my back or some weird thing like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think the tattoo's like for his dad, and he's like, my dad's always watching my back. Please don't make that. Don't feel bad for him.
No,
So-
you guys are gonna learn a lot about Clown Man.
So, let me describe to you Clown Man. Okay, this man is closer to 6'5" in height.
Yeah.
He was wearing a polo shirt with the collar popped, with the sleeves cut off, that went all the way down to like his love handles.
It was like
What a
that little, that stitching at the bottom of the shirt.
It
That was
was-
the only thing holding that thing
It
together.
was real close. It was striped, like
Yeah, blue and white American Eagle
Yeah.
collared shirt is what this
he
thing
was wearing shorts that were sagged,
Jorts.
and sandals. He also had a very pointy goatee, much like Jafar.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
One gold tooth.
One gold tooth, front-facing hat, barely on his head. Looked like he was a background character in 8 Mile. And I could the way I try to describe him, if you're familiar with the musical group of ICP,
Insane Clown Posse.
this man was down with the clown.
100%.
I had no reservations about saying that. So the final time he showed up, he shows up dressed like that, and he had his girlfriend with him. His girlfriend was like, she was present, but she was absent. So she was about like 4'11",
She was short. She was wearing like
a crop
a
top.
crop top, and her butt was hanging out of her shorts.
Yes.
There were jorts once again.
Yeah, clothes barely hanging on for dear life.
Towards, once again.
Her eyes were so glazed over and like crossed that like she was looking at her past and future simultaneously.
She was on another planet. She also couldn't stand.
No, so she was using the wall as support, right? And so she was just like gliding on the walls because she could not stand. Now,
It wasn't like arm out like Chris just described. She was shoulder to the wall,
Yeah.
dragging it.
and when they walked in, they were smelling very fragrant, right? They were reeking of the devil's lettuce. And the shop owner went over to them and was like, hey, so like, here's the deal. Y'all are smelling pretty fragrant. And, we're friends with the police. And, because it's a very small town, like we just tattoo everybody, so we know them. And it's like, we don't really want the reputation that there's like drugs going on here. So if y'all could like step out and like spray some shit on you, get a change of clothes, like you need to do that. And they just like fought us. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like what are you smelling? Like I don't smell anything. And the girlfriend's just like, zoned. You know what I'm saying? Like,
She's like, you know that math meme where that woman's just like this and all the math equations are behind her? She was out of it.
yeah. She was trying to understand what math was. And
She was like, fuck addition? I don't even know her. Like,
so eventually we got them to like step out and like they go outside and they come back magically. There's no more smell. And they're like, yeah, man, like I just don't know what y'all are talking about. Like it just wasn't us. And we're like,
it took them 30 minutes.
it's like, come on, Ricky. Like I don't remember his name, but for this, he's Ricky.
That's
right?
his name.
He's a
right.
Ricky.
So,
Understood.
so eventually, like Ricky goes back there to get tattooed, and the artist doing the tattoo generously is like 5'2". He's very short. It's not Mitch, and so
Could have been Mitch, but it was not. Taller gentleman than Mitch, actually.
it's before Mitch worked there. So, the dude is finally getting stenciled. He has his ID. The clown is sad enough. It's facing the wrong
It's
direction.
backwards.
Homie is on a step stool to stencil him
Yep.
because he is so short. So he climbs up this step ladder. He goes to place the stencil. Clown man just passes out on top of him. Falls on this man.
Hits the station.
Hits the station, hits the wall. There's a Master Sword replica from The Legend of Zelda on the wall. It is in half. It is shattered.
He just got this thing too. He's like, guys, I just bought this Master Sword. It's going right by my station.
Man.
And he hung it up. He hangs it up the day before, and he's like, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. And now he's holding it in pieces.
Yeah, there's a hole in the wall. Like, dude is out. And so he's like trying to like hold him up, right? And he's like freaking out. And he's like, guys, you know, and he's like, this dude's just like limping on him. Girlfriend is in the chair, just like gone still.
Has
right?
not realized he has fallen.
Her mouth is open. So she's just like, has no idea what's happening. Guy comes to, and we're like, Ricky, what the fuck happened? And he's like, oh man, I'm narcoleptic. You know, my knees locked, you know, like, it just be like that.
No, he didn't say his knees were locked. He was like,
yeah.
I'd be narcoleptic. I'd just be sleeping sometime.
Yeah. And we're like, Ricky.
And the dude's like, you locked your legs, right? He's like, nah, dude, I just fall asleep. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Because he got like rescheduled so many times, the artist was trying so hard to just like tattoo him. He's like, please get out of my life. And he's like, just tell me you locked your legs, bro. Just it happens.
He's like, you just be locking him. He's like, nah, dude, I just fall asleep.
He's like, no, I just pass out.
He's
bro.
like, I'm driving down the street. Sometimes I just pass out.
And he's like, bro, please, like, help me help you. You know, like we're on like the third reschedule here, and I have like a powwow with the owner. I'm like, hey man, here's the deal. Like, I have no stake in this shop. This ain't happening. Ain't no fucking way. Like, dude passed out. There's a hole in the wall. Do you know what I mean? Like, all the clients are like freaked out. I mean, he's fragrant. He like half smells like weed and lavender. Like his girlfriend's dead. You know what I mean?
Like it was to the point where like Chris had to send his client out. I'm sitting down here and he's like, all right, just like whenever this is over, just go outside and get him. And I'm just standing there and we're all just having this powwow of like, this isn't going to happen, right? And the guy's like, he just locked his knees, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like,
he just locked them.
So I was talking to the owner and he's like, no, man, we just got to like power through this. And I was like, no. I was like, if there's a definition of a liability, it is this man.
He got stenciled. And the stencil hurt so bad. He passed out.
Like, imagine like you have this half clown stencil smeared on you. And you're there's just like
a man holding the fragments of the Master Sword.
There's like destruction. But the station is like kicked out from like him hitting.
There's like
it.
flash on the ground at
Train
this
wreck.
point.
Like there, yeah, literally. Like I think like one of the
Like flash paintings are falling off the wall and breaking
one
and shit.
one of them was shattered because he like hit it.
He hit his head on it.
And yeah, dude, just like yeah, it's fine. Like let's run this. You know.
Like we got it.
And
I'm down with the clown.
yeah, he was down. And so eventually it was to the point I was like, bro, this ain't happening. Like I am calling this. And he eventually listened to me. And we told the guy, like, hey, man, it's not happening, like, whatever. And the guy's like, give me my money back. And we're like, well, we don't really do refunds. So, like, and he's like, oh, fuck y'all, bro. I'm going to let all my people know. I'm going to let everyone on my fucking street know what's up with you. And he's like, come on, bitch. And, like, yanks the girl up.
Yeah.
And she, like, comes to. She's like, what is happening? You know, like, and she's like, he's now dragging her for stability, you know? And she's, like, kind of, like, wiggling it with him. And they like run, they like go up and like they like almost trip like while going up the stairs, you know. And he's like, "Fuck you, like, fuck this place. I'm like writing a review. I'm telling everyone, you know, like people are going to hear about this. And we're like, please. Because we don't want to be associated with anybody.
He's sitting there screaming at the front desk. Guy goes, go tell him. Like, please.
Yeah, he's like, tell them people. So what was crazy, we ended up looking him up on like Instagram or something. And this dude was a barber. And in all of his photos, he was like really put together. And he like stopped posting on Instagram for a while. So it just looked like he had a very normal life, and then like something happened. Like he befriended Ron, you know?
Yep.
And him and Ron got real close. And Ron got in his veins. And he just was
And
never the same.
touched his heart.
Yeah. Ron is heroin.
All right.
So yeah, he is wild, bro. So clown
Holy
man.
crap.
That was I remember that. I was on vacation. I was here. All this shit happened. And I'm sitting there on the floor of the tat shack, picking up the fragments of this sword. And homie is just crying.
I will tell you this too. Don't feel bad for the artist either.
No, yeah.
That dude ended up abandoning his 3 children and went to Peru for a girl he met on Tinder.
Dude, they're going to be together forever.
So fuck that guy. And I
God.
yeah, no, he legit had 3 kids, and
God.
he straight up like bailed out of nowhere because he met this girl in Peru, and
As a new
Oh, dude,
father, that guy's the worst.
yeah, he's the worst. No, here's what's even worse. So
Can I tell a story?
well, hold on. I know this guy who is like friends with him still, and he was like, yeah, man, he's trying to get me to like smuggle like tat supplies over to Peru because they're like real expensive. And I was like, that's weird. He's like, yeah, his fiance also like was chasing him around with like a ball peen hammer.
Yep.
And I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. That seems kind of deserved, you know, because he just bailed on his children, like straight up. Because I was even asking him, I was like, so what's up with your kids, man? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see them. You know, we're gonna like
We'll come back.
travel them back and forth. A week before he went, the government of Peru collapsed.
Yep.
And I was like, what's up with the government over there, man? He's like, it's fine. Everything's good. He told the mother of his children a week before he went.
Yep.
Because a client told her.
Yep.
Fuck that guy.
I am sitting there getting tattooed. I don't remember if it was Chris or who, but I was sitting there getting tattooed, and I look over at him and go, hey, man, you still planning that trip to Peru? He's like, hell yeah, man. I was like, you learning Spanish or Portuguese or whatever language you need to learn to, like, survive? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm learning Spanish. He's like, I'm really having trouble with the silent R. And I'm like, silent R? He's like, yeah, man, you know, like you say rojo? Like, they don't say the R. And I was like, oh, no. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I hear those are tricky. I've taken Spanish for a while. That silent R will get you. I was like, watch out for the silent L's. He's like, there's silent L's? I'm like, dude, you're leaving next week. I was like, what do you mean?
He took the first Spirit Airlines flight over there.
And he arrives and he's like, what's up, y'all? I'm tatting.
Yo, we ended up like he had like a geotag, right? Like posted, and we found out where he was because he had a tattoo shop over there. Apparently, he both lives and tattoos out of a hostel.
Hell yeah.
You know what a hostel is?
I do.
I saw the movie, yes.
So he's like $15. It's like $15 a night, and there's just some dude in the fucking like hallway running tats. Like I saw a video of him like tattooing, and there's just like dudes playing soccer in the background.
Dude.
That's the red flag.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a red
that's
flag.
a red flag.
There you
Once
go.
again.
Yeah.
See, I knew it
Crazy.
would come back.
So you guys got like a good twofer out of that one story. Like,
I forgot.
Like a 3.
That was-
Honestly, that one kept going.
that's-
Ashley complains that I tell very long-winded stories.
There were
That's
so
like my
many layers
favorite-
to that, dude.
but honestly,
that's like my favorite thing about Chris. You like give him like one topic and he'll just run.
He'll turn it into 10 topics.
yeah, but that's kind of the point of a podcast.
It is the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
But that was
All right, I need you to tell your story.
all
This
right.
is the best.
Really
I
quick,
love
I'm gonna
this.
leave this up to you guys. I can either tell the wasp story, or I can tell the.
I want both. They're both good. The wasp
I'll
one is
do
very
one.
short.
I'll do one of them. I'll save the
If I have
other
to pick
one.
one, you know which one I'm picking.
I know which one I'm picking.
Let's put it to a
too.
vote.
I literally tell people that.
Winnie the Pooh or Wasp?
Winnie the Pooh. If you're only telling one,
Winnie the Pooh is good. Dude,
Take
the
me-
Wasp one is so short.
Take me to the 100-acre wood, Mitchell.
Tell
Alright.
a 30-minute story, then make him tell a short.
Oh no!
No, that's not. That's
cool.
I said both.
I can't do both.
no,
I'll save
no,
it.
no, because
keep the wasp in the chamber.
I'll keep the Wasp for the next one we do. How about that?
Okay.
I'll bring it back.
We'll get the wasp next week.
Yeah, we'll get it next time.
If you want Mitch to tell the Wasp story, then
You gotta tell me.
please tell us.
Okay, so all right.
It's so good.
It's so
I'll tell you.
Oh God! All right, so I'm still an apprentice. Okay, I'm working in like the first shop that I was at, and there's this woman. Okay, I'm not tattooing her. My job at this point is to stencil everyone. So I'm like sitting up, breaking down, and there's this woman who books an appointment with one of the artists to get this it's like this thing, like this tree, like 2 inches above her like left kneecap. Okay, it is very small. It's not very big. It's very close to her knee. Okay, so she shows up for her appointment and she's wearing jeans. Okay, so really just quick aside, we don't care like when you tattoo and stuff like that, like you always want to be professional. You never want to make somebody feel weird. You always want to make sure that you are making somebody feel comfortable and everything like that. I can hear Chris's cat freaking out in the hallway.
Go get him.
Go bring him in.
Yeah, so
What's the rule number 1 of the shop, Michael?
Don't make it weird.
there you go.
There
Don't
it
make
is.
it weird. So yeah, anyway, this lady shows up for her appointment and she's wearing jeans. So I'm like, okay, like do you have like shorts with you? And she's like, no. I was like, okay. Do you have someone who can like
Ashley.
maybe?
Okay, sorry. I thought you were like shooing him.
No.
Okay.
All right, the cat has been retrieved.
Yes.
So
Oh, no.
I'm like, do you have someone that can bring you some shorts? And she's like, no. I'm like, all right.
I sit on the floor
Well-
all the time.
There's literally 4 chairs there and a couch.
It's fun.
So no shorts, no one to bring her shorts. And I'm like, all right, well, it is up to you at this juncture what you want to do with this tattoo. I am not going to tell you to do anything because I'm not going to tell you to take your leg out of your pants or whatever, okay? So I'm just like, whatever you want to do, if you want to call somebody, like whatever you got to do, that's fine. And she's like, I'm just going to take my leg out of my pants. And I'm like, that's fine. That's kind of what I was hoping you were going to say. Great. As long as I can get to the area, I'm pretty much good. Like, it's fine. So I turn around and I look at Starscream.
Dude, tell us a good tat scream.
He's so cute.
one time my daddy, he tatted.
So this lady, all right. So she is she says she's gonna take her pant leg out. Or her leg out of her pant leg rather. I turn around, I put some gloves on. I swing back around, and she's standing there in the middle of the shop, shirt on, no pants, no underwear. She looks like Winnie the Pooh, and it's like, I turn and look, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't say anything. But like internally, I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, why are you not wearing any underwear or pants?
I'd like to add one thing.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
is during the time where everyone was wearing masks. So you can't see this woman's face. You can't see anyone's reaction. So it's just all in the eyes.
Mitch is just staring at
Yeah.
Everyone is just making a hard eye
There-
contact.
there's like I want to be clear, like to set this stage, it is not just like me and this lady. It's like me, this lady, and like 10 other people. Like all 3 of the other artists had one person. They were tattooing. They had a +1. The owner's friend showed up with like their baby. My wife was there. There's just a ton of people. So I'm like, I look up and I see Chris. And I can see his eyes. He turns and like looks. I see him look at me and look at my client and look back at me, and he just swivels away. And I was like, I knew in that moment that I was completely alone.
I just turned
There's
and
no help that was coming for me.
I turned and I just saw like cheeks. And I was like, it is that kind of day.
So I'm like, all right, let me just keep my composure. And I like part of me is like, sorry, John's having a breakdown.
John's out.
And like, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm like, maybe I should be like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing? And the other part of me is like, just ignore it.
Don't make it weird.
So I'm like, I have to shave her leg. So she's just standing there, and she's like weirdly like, she's just like she's got like a power stance going on, and I'm like,
There's a lot of animals happening because she's literally like dressed like Winnie the Pooh. She's spread eagle, and Mitch is just like, her cat is out. You know what I mean?
dude,
There's like a whole there's a zoo happening.
I was gonna say I'm trying to like not look into the eye of Sauron. You're just like turning away. I'm just like, this is so uncomfortable. I'm just like shaving your leg, and I get the stencil on. She like checks
Her
it
husband
out.
is like
Yeah,
essentially
her husband comes in. She's married to this freaking like 6'8" like buffalo of a human being. Like this guy, I don't know what they fed him as a baby, but it was like
they found him on the Oregon Trail.
She's dating like I don't even know. It's like he's like the Hulk. He's like this massive like Marine Corps. Like he looks insane. Okay, so he's just freaking huge. And so the tattoo artist is doing the tattoo, and he's like weirdly like rubbing her leg, and he's like right over the top of the tattoo artist, who is like legitimately like I don't know, he's like 5'4" or something. He's very short.
He's about the same height as Mitch. To be
Yeah,
honest.
we're like the same height. So I'm just kidding. I'm not that short, but but he's like doing this tattoo, and they finish up, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna get her wrapped up. So I go over, and I'm like, cool, if you wanna hop up, I'll get you like wrapped up. We'll get you checked out and get you out of here. And she's like, well, damn, can I put my underwear on first? And I'm like, well, for one, I was not being rude to you. I was just telling you I was going to get you checked out. But for two, you had underwear? Why in the world are you not wearing the, like, it's on your knee pretty much. There's no reason whatsoever for her to not, like, have anything on. So it's just like when you ask about weird clients, like that is the one that will always stick out of my brain.
She's an
like,
exhibitionist.
That was the craziest lady like ever.
Shout out Winnie the Pooh.
Shout out to Winnie the Pooh. But she got her tattoo, and her bison of a husband left with her without assaulting anyone, thankfully. So yeah, it was great. It was cool. I'll save the Wasp Man for next time if you guys want to hear it. I like that story more actually.
I like the Wasp story too, but like what?
I have others. I have a lot.
Who is the guy? Oh yeah, the Wasp guy was the Valentine's Day story.
Oh,
Yep.
yes, it was.
Same guy.
Oh my god, can we please tell it?
No, let me tell it next time. I want to save
Dude,
it.
a little teaser. Mitch, call out a state that you wanna have beef with. You did it last time.
A state that I want to have beef with?
Yep. Last week was Mississippi and I think Alabama.
Did I say the thing about Alabama that happened to me?
I think so.
I don't think I did. I think I got cut off and I never said it.
Give us your fun fact about Alabama while Mitch thinks of a state to call out.
I know it's
I already got a celebrity I'm going to call out.
Okay, let me say this. So Mitch referenced it earlier, like we used to play music, and I was on tour once, and I stopped in Alabama, and I will never forget that in Alabama I saw a Walmart that was directly across the street from another Walmart. It was like two towns merged.
You know that there's somebody don't go to that one. That's not the good one. Go to the good Walmart.
No, I'm telling you, it's like imagine if there's like two counties and they both have like their own shit going on, and each county has a Walmart, right? But for some reason, like they like stitched it together right at the Walmarts. Do you know what I mean? And the only difference between the two is that one had a McDonald's and one had a Subway, right?
The one with the Subway is classier.
Yeah, literally. That was my thought. I was like, this is like the up Walmart.
That's the good one right there. You need to go to that one.
So then I went into the Walmart and I was walking around, and my plugs were like a lot bigger at the time. And I was walking around and I just felt like something pull on my shirt. So I turned and I look, and there's this little girl who was like 5 years old. And she went, "I like your earrings."
I want you to clip that and save that for the rest of our lives, please.
Bro,
Please.
I'm telling you. So I have this image
Get a soundboard.
that in Alabama, there's always an adjacent Walmart, and everyone has been chain smoking since they were in the womb. That is my
They come out in
impression.
Newport 100s. They're like, my dad is also my cousin.
Yeah, that's my impression of Alabama. And that, like, I went to a Mellow Mushroom, and it's like all the alternative people just lived there. Everyone with like tattoos, dreads, plugs, all of it. That's it. That was the only congregation of everything.
John's
and
dying to
everyone,
claim it. Hang on.
no, dog. Everyone who worked at this Mellow Mushroom was at the fucking show.
I'm just going to affirm what you're saying because my whole family is from Alabama, and I can confirm that anyone that looks like anyone in this room works at the Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah,
I love that. I
they,
love Mellow
They
Mushroom.
literally all work
Dude,
at the
that's
Mellow
on brand.
Mushroom.
Shout out to Mellow Mushroom. Shout out to that one girl at Mellow Mushroom who said I could help her clean the bathroom. If you are out there and you are listening to this, hi.
Michael's
Michael's
single.
the one for you. Please.
I think about you all the time.
don't miss
I
this
don't.
opportunity. This is just for you.
We've been looking for you. We've also been looking for this girl from Kroger.
Oh,
I'll get
Yeah.
into that next
There's
time, though.
connections on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that'd be
that's
fun.
That's got to
That'd
be
be a
the one
fun
next time,
segment
for
because
sure.
you do keep having misconnections.
I do.
Yeah.
So we can definitely get into those later.
Shout out to the girl at Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
So weird, gruff, like chain
And Kroger
smoking
girl.
5-year-old girl. What about her?
Oh, that was.
just-
I
just
got
loved her
scared.
ears.
like your
I got scared, and then I went across the street because this is before I was.
You went to the other Walmart.
Yeah, so I went across the street because there was a crystals beside it, and
Uh-huh.
I'd never had crystals. And at the time, I was what was I?
He was shitting after that.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh man, spoopy.
I wasn't vegan at the
Oh,
time.
no.
And I went, and there was like this giant sign that said like, now serving breakfast like at 10 or whatever. And so I was like, oh shit, like I'll try crystals. And I go up to the fucking drive-through. And I was like, or it's like just like a normal window, it wasn't like a drive-through. And I was like, hey, can like I see the breakfast menu? And the one was like, we don't serve breakfast anymore. And I was like,
The sign's
yo,
right there.
you might want to change your sign. And she's like, what do you want?
You're on breakfast.
And I was like, I thought I was getting breakfast. And she's like, there's no breakfast. I was like, bitch.
That reminds me.
I was like, it is like 10:03 in the morning. Like you got to work 3 minutes ago and you were lit. Like I was so mad at this woman. And then I went to the other Walmart.
Me and Chris we were leaving from a tattoo that I got, and he was like, bro, there's a Taco Bell KFC. They're going to have the Beyond Chicken. And I'm like, bro, they're not going to have it. They have signs for it. It's on the menu in 6 places. I
yeah.
rolled down that fucking window. We sat in that line for 20 minutes ago.
Well-
We want the Beyond Chicken. And the one went, we don't serve that here.
Yeah, legit. Like it was on the fucking sign.
It was on the sign. It was in
Every window of that building.
because it has like the Beyond thing, right? And it has the KFC logo, but it's in green instead of red. So it was just a sea of green that had its own separate thing on the side of the fucking digital menu. It's advertised everywhere, and they're just like,
sell that here.
no.
And then I turned to Chris and go, do you want anything from the Taco Bell side? And he went, no, I just want to go.
I was like, I'm defeated, bro.
I love that is like that's his experience. Like that has stuck with you
of Alabama.
of Alabama. That's like
It's fucked.
Chris's
That's
call
it
out
for you.
Alabama.
I also fell off stage and rolled backwards and hit my knee.
nice.
Yeah, Alabama sucks.
Fuck you, Alabama.
When I bought
I
my
love
house,
my family in Alabama. I just have to throw that out there.
Yeah.
They do live there.
Except
I'm
Johnstown.
sure it's got its perks. Everywhere does.
when I bought my house,
Maybe not.
They gave me
No mushroom.
a thing to like stay at it was like a vacation thing. The
Yeah.
woman was like, "Hey, like we
It
have
was a
this."
timeshare?
No,
Oh.
she was like, "Here's this house that like you can basically go on vacation and stay for like a week." And it was like this like really nice house. Basically, it was like a thank you. Like a lot of realtors do that. They give you like a thank you gift. Bro, I've never gone. I have no desire to go to Alabama.
Dude, the beach in Alabama is actually really nice.
Apparently, it's at the beach.
Oh, then that's the nice part.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to a beach where everyone's been chain smoking forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to go to the beach
Yeah.
in
Probably like Orange
Alabama.
yeah, Orange Beach is nice, man.
crystal clear waters, dude.
You should go, baby.
Cigarette butts everywhere.
I think I still have it somewhere.
Yeah.
I love Myrtle Beach and there's cigarette butts everywhere there too.
I love Myrtle Beach and the water's gray.
Oh yeah.
Myrtle Beach just smells of murder.
I still love it.
Murder Beach, dirty Myrtle,
love
baby.
Murder Beach.
Murder Beach. Yeah. All right.
Mitch,
So
call out your state.
all right. State I'm gonna call it is Arkansas.
Fuck you, Arkansas.
That's right.
You ain't shit.
I know nothing. Oh, the only thing I know about Arkansas is Sharkansas, which is that horror movie.
Yep, Sharkansas. Sharkansas is great.
The first person I ever tattooed is from Arkansas.
Fuck
So-
you, Arkansas.
No. All right. Whatever.
Celebrity call out, man. I am calling out the one and only Robert Pattinson.
Nice.
Robert, I got some words for you. You got the skin of a killer. I got the mouth of a killer, boy. I want to lick your skin. Come on the show, dude.
Batman was also mediocre.
Yeah, I also want to talk to you about
no!
that film.
All right, we're not getting into
And
this.
We're not getting
Yeah.
into that. Robert
Next
Pattinson,
time.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
I love the new Batman.
It was okay.
It's pretty good.
All right. So
I
thank
love
you guys for tuning in and for hanging out with us and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck
We
Arkansas.
appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know if you want the wasp story for the next podcast.
Oh, yeah. Wasp
Crazy.
story. And should Mitch and Michael change their Instagram handles?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
All right.
Robert, I am trying to lick you. For the record. He could be the mellow mushroom girl.